I figured it out. I figured it all out. This is so exciting. It all makes so much sense now. It's just now starting to make so much sense. I know that it's gonna expand even more, even more. Um, you guys, I'm gonna be putting something together really soon. Um, it's gonna change lives. Okay. I don't care how big that sounds. That's the goal. Okay. I'm so excited about this because I've been on my journey for a while now, and it's been tumultuous. It's been work. It's been exciting. It's been a wild ride, and honestly, I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change it for the world, especially knowing what I know now. I know that I couldn't change it for the world. um, Everything I've ever been through and experienced is exactly what I needed. And anything that you're going through and experiencing currently is exactly what you need. I don't care what you're going through. It's exactly what you need. It's what you're calling in. It's what you're calling in. I think it's really important for us. This hit me earlier. It's really important, I think, if you're someone who's just starting, maybe you're not even starting out anywhere yet. Maybe you're someone who's struggling right now. Maybe you don't know where you're going in life. Maybe you feel a little like directionless. Maybe you feel just stuck or stagnant. And I think it's so easy for us to get rooted in our ways of being simply because we don't understand or have the knowledge that it doesn't have to be that way. And when I say that, I'm talking about like your internal belief systems, right? Like it's so easy for us to like as individuals be like, oh, like it's just the way I am. Like my mom was like that, so I'm like this. It runs in the family. This is how we are. This is who I am. Like I can't change it. But I'm here to tell you that's not true. And I'm not saying that from some place of like without actual evidence, okay? I was a psychology major, and I think this is the reason why I was so drawn to psychology amongst other reasons. What I think at its core, I was meant to delve into psychology so that I can understand that I have the power to rewire my brain, right? One of the first things I remember learning about in a it's like introduction to childhood psychology class was attachment styles and seeing how those play such a significant role in how we are able to relate to others and form like romantic relationships. And to me at the time, like a romantic relationship was just like everything I'd wanted, and like I had these hopes and dreams of how I want that to look, you know how I want it to look. And when I was first starting out in that class, I remember, I don't even know if I learned in the same class or what, but I just remember starting to panic and freak out because I was like, oh my God, they're going through like the parenting styles. I was like, I don't have a secure attachment style. I was like, and a secure attachment style is what's needed to have like a healthy relationship, right? Um, and so I just remember panicking because I was just like, oh my God, like, am I going to be stuck like this forever? Can I like not change like my attachment style? I'm just going to have like unhealthy relationships or relationships with this like weird dynamics to them. And then I learned about neuroplasticity, and I learned that, we do like even way into our years, 50s, 60s, we have the ability to change the ways in which we operate and think and relate to individuals and people, right? The brain has an ability to continue to grow and adapt and change, but I think that's such a crucial piece of information that gets left out for some reason. Like we just kind of throw our hands up in the air and be like, it's just how I am. And I think we say that because it's scary to like, if you have the information that you actually can change, that you can change like the structure, like these old patterns and belief systems and old wirings that you have, if you have that awareness that you can change that the power is in your hands, that's a little intimidating, right? Like now you have to do the work. Like you can't say that it's like it's out of your hands, it's just how you are, because it's like you're being told, I'm telling you right now, you have the ability to change. You have the ability to grow and to adapt and to form new ways of thinking, being, existing in this world. You can be the best version of yourself if you want to be. But you have to do the work, right? And when it comes to doing the work, that means getting into your childhood, your belief systems, your upbringing. That means getting into the deepest, darkest parts of yourself that you don't want to acknowledge, right? Like because that's where all your core beliefs are formed. That's where all of these things are formed, and then they get reinforced in society, right? So you have to be able to look around at society too and see where these beliefs are being reinforced, right? Especially when I was growing up, something I struggled with was like eating, right? Eating habits, and my self-image, and these are things that were reinforced via a trauma from when I was a child, right? That manifested later, which I didn't even realize until, I don't know, maybe a month ago, because that was the first time after having a repressed memory come back 10 years ago. That was the first time I'd ever even looked at like how a trauma like that impacts a child or an adult later in life, because it was something I was running from subconsciously. But oh my gosh, train of thought come back to me here. Hold on, I'm gonna pause this so I don't have to like. The eating disorders, something I struggled with because, you know, this was attached to my trauma directly, but at the same time, like society, like everywhere, especially for girls, young girls, women, just like there's such an attention put on our bodies and how we're supposed to look and what's the right look and what's the wrong look, and are you too skinny, too fat, too big, you know, it's just all these different, like, you know, oh, is her dress too short, oh, she's slutty, she's this, she's that, oh, she's a tomboy, there's just all of these friggin' pressures from society about how you're supposed to look in order to be accepted and seen as okay. So things are reinforced in society, they're reinforced in our childhood. Like, sorry, my lips are really dry. I noticed in one of my other videos I was licking my lips a lot. So I just wanted to point that out. God, I have some weird thing going on lately. Anyways, maybe I'm shedding like a snake. Whew. Anyways, it gets really, I can see how it would be really scary to acknowledge that you have the power and that you can change. But I'm here to tell you, you do have that power. You do have that. It's all in your hands. Right, like I said, you're attracting in exactly what you're needing. It's reflecting what's deep inside. So you might say you want like a healthy, functional. This was me. You might say you want like a healthy, functional relationship where it's like equal give and take, and like there's this reciprocity about it, right? I don't know if I felt that way. I don't think I knew what I wanted at the beginning. I did, you know. I would say I wanted something healthier than the relationships I'd been shown in my life. And I had an idea of what that would look like. But because of my core beliefs deep down, right? Like, you can be a feminist, but then your core beliefs, right? Because we all have this yin and this yang within us. This is feminine energy and this masculine energy. But your feminine energy deep down could be reflecting an internal attraction of, you know, this old version of femininity, feminine energy, right? So you're submissive, you're the victim. What goes back to the what is it called, the damsel in distress, like that kind of mentality. Is this even recording? It is. Okay. So if that's what you're drawing in, that's what you're attracting, and that's what's like in your core, even though you don't like consciously think that and like say that you want those things or believe those things, maybe it's like the opposite internally, but you haven't done the work to undo the old systems and old rewiring. Your masculine is out of balance, you're also going to be attracting in a masculine energy that reflects that. And that's exactly what I did with my energy, because it's like subconsciously, because of the trauma I'd been through, because of the belief systems I was given and shown raising up and the examples set. It's like I attracted in, because in my core, I was a wounded feminine energy, right? Like I didn't have that. It was just the old belief systems of being like the victim and like I'm not good enough and having a poor self-image, and like, you know, social roles are all mixed up, like not feeling like, you know, yeah, we're not gonna get into my trauma right now. And so that attracted in this male energy that was more, that would meet that female energy, right? So that it can mirror back to me and teach me, right? Because I'm attracting in what I need in order to learn, right? To get what I'm saying I want. So it's attracting in this energy of this male who's reflecting back to me my inner, what my inner female is. My inner female feminine energy, whatever you guys want to say. It's feminine energy, but it's showing, it's holding up a mirror of what my feminine energy actually is within, so that I could see that, so that I could acknowledge it, so that I could work on it and even identify it. Like the biggest lesson, and I kid you not, like, and it all goes back to self-love, guys. I'll say it again because it always does. This is like what this program is going to be based off of, along with these energies, but they're also intertwined. But like the biggest lesson I learned at the end of that relationship, because I dig down and I will pull back them layers, okay? I like to get to the root cause of ish. So at the very root, I found it was a lack of self-love, right? That's what I found. And like it was this most monumental, like beautiful thing I learned. And I didn't really understand that self-love was the root until I started constructing this program. And self-love was in its own little category. And then I realized, wait. That's the core. That's the root. Everything points back to that. I can draw an arrow back to that. But all this to say, you guys, I'm just here to like share a little bit of my personal story. But at the end of the day, like I want you to know, like you do have the power to change your life. You can create the life you want. You just have to truly believe it. And to do that, you have to do the work. And it ain't going to be easy, but I will tell you, it is going to be so worth it. It'll be so worth it. It's not even going to matter. I know it can sound daunting and scary, but it's just like, answer yourself this. Would you rather live a life in which you're like, I don't know, content with mediocrity and like you're not really living a life of like your dreams and your passions and something you actually want to do? Or, and it's like it's easy, you don't have to like face these parts of yourself that you don't want to see. You don't have to put in like the emotional labor and work. Or would you rather put in emotional labor and work, and out of that is like what equates to nirvana at the end of the day, when you reach a certain state, like, because that's what it is. That's what you're gonna come to at the very end of it. And there's no real true end, but like you will come to, like, maybe that's a lie. I don't know, because I haven't gotten to the very end yet. Maybe there isn't a real end. Maybe there is. Maybe there's a period in which I believe we always continue to grow in different ways, and like we can't really see that path until we're there, right? Only in the now can you actually see if things continue to go and unfold. And I think they always will, because there's so much to learn in this world, and we are infinite in our capacity to change and learn and adapt and grow. And I feel like there's always going to be more for us to learn. But it all comes back to balancing the inner energies within us and acknowledging that. And in order to do that, we have to do the inner work, and we have to do the work to not only just show ourselves these things, but you're reprogramming your brain when it comes down to it, right? Like you're rewiring things up there. So you're not just gonna like, I don't know, people hear of like manifestation and they think that that's just like, oh, you just got to start changing how you talk. And it's like, Well, that's part of it. Like, you have to change how you talk, because if you're constantly saying something isn't going to happen, like, you're already believing that. But you can't just like, oh yeah, now I'm going to win, like, you know, the lottery, and you just like say it. You just, every day you wake up, I'm going to win the lottery. I'm going to win the lottery. Like, you're not just going to win the lottery. Like, do you truly, truly believe you're going to win the lottery? You know what I'm saying? Like, something like that. Um, like, actually believe it. Like, faith, that type of belief. Like, actually believe. So it's like, you might say you want to draw in the love of your life, but do you feel like you deserve the love of your life? Do you feel like you are worthy of that type of love? Do you show yourself that type of love? Are you drawing in a partner because you want to? You know, sorry guys, cut out there. But are you drawing in a partner that like is going to help you heal and grow and become the best version of yourself? Because they're going to come in and they're going to reflect back to you parts of yourself you need to, maybe that were never modeled to you, right? In the way that you wanted them to be, in the way that you hoped that they would look like. So maybe if you're like, this is, if you're healing your inner energy, let's say as a feminine, and you're trying to call in like and heal your masculine energy, right? You're healing your feminine energy, thereby you're healing your masculine energy as well. So you need to call, so if you're healing your feminine energy and you're no longer operating off of these old belief systems and patterns of being the victim, being helpless, you can't really be assertive and take action, but you're now doing the opposite of that. You are, your feminine energy, you're allowing your feminine energy to lead and trust her. You're allowing her to, your intuition to guide you, to lead the way, your inspiration, your creativity, your passions, your dreams, where that all lies, which is within the feminine energy. So you're calling in a masculine then that is going to support and uphold that feminine energy, trust that feminine energy, not critique or judge or second guess that energy, right? Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I think some of you, if you know, you know what I'm saying. If not, it will make sense. Trust me, it'll make sense. So once you decide to change your internal systems and beliefs at their core is when you will start to attract in the life, the people, the relationships, the opportunities that align with your core beliefs about yourself and what you're worthy and deserving of. When you're able to love yourself fully. And that's why I think when we hear like that whole saying around people, like, you complete each other, it's not really about completing each other. It's about you're drawing in somebody that allows you the opportunity to see that other energy that you possess within yourself reflected back at you, but in a healthy way now, so that you can learn to trust that part of yourself. We attract in what we need. We attract in what we believe. So I'm telling you right now, like, from a psychological standpoint, you can rewire your brain. And by rewiring your brain, you're able to attract in and bring in what you truly desire. But the thing is like, within psychology, we don't go into the spiritual realms, right? We don't talk about manifestation and actually attracting the life you desire. But you can, but you have to change those core beliefs first. And I think to first even take that first step, you have to actually know that you can rewire and change your old systems and beliefs and patterns and ways of being. That's possible. Scientifically, in this 3D, that is possible. So start there. Because if you can change and you can become a better version of yourself, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? All right, I'm going to be coming out with something eventually. So stay tuned. Subscribe if you want to get in on this when it's here, because this will help you. This will help everybody. All right, love you guys. Bye.